Yo, anyway, I'm going to start now. It's 7 o'clock. This is my live stream. It's my first live stream on YouTube. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for anyone watching this on the replay. I wanted to do a little live stream video just to introduce myself and to talk about my new book and my new online program. So straight off the bat, my name is Adam Stansbury. I am an author and a life journey facilitator. So what's a life journey facilitator? I like to see a life journey facilitator as a life journey guide, someone that is going to ask you the right questions so that you can find the right answers that are deep within you, that allow your innate wisdom to surface. So I'm also a self-published author. I've self-published 2 books now. The first one was Plant Powered at the start of 2020, and that charted my journey through veganism over 7 years. I am no longer vegan now, although I'm switching to a much more intuitively kind of eating diet, if you like, allowing my body to have what it needs when it needs it. But the book I want to talk about today is this, my new book, The Journey to the Center of Your Soul. Discover yourself through the mirrors of life. Available now on Amazon in paperback and Kindle. You can also download a free copy of the PDF version if you subscribe to my newsletter at adamstansbury.com. So this book is very exciting. It's also going to be out on Audible next month. Last night I recorded the audio version of it in a sound studio in London. Very exciting. I spent probably about over 3.5 hours recording it. It's not a very long book, this, as you can see, but it still took quite a long time to record the audio version. So I've still got my voice now, which is good, which means I can do this talk tonight. What's the book about? So this book, I'm going to give you a brief idea of what the book's about, and then I'm going to go into the story surrounding how it came to be, how it gave birth to it. So first of all, the book is about helping you to see that life is happening for you rather than to you, and seeing that everything in life is a mirror that's always reflecting back to you information so that you can understand yourself much more deeply. And everything in our life is perfectly placed so that you get to ask the question, who am I and who do I want to be? And the book takes us on a journey through 3 different layers of relating we have in our life. First of all, the environmental layer, which is based on our sensory perception, our 5 different senses that we use to connect with our environment, along with our intuitive senses, things we can't see, energy. And it's through our relationship with the environment, through the natural world, the food we eat, our geographical location, our social circumstances, that reflects back to us and gives us a good idea of who we are and who we want to be based on those external things that are stimulating us and giving us that information. The second layer that we go through for relating is the relationship to others. So big layer in all our lives, it's our relationships to our family members, which can be really difficult depending on our journey through our life with our family and how our connection is with them. Our friendships, obviously, those deep, long-lasting friendships that we have, the people that we look up to in our life, our allies, people that we rely on, people that rely on us. And then also, obviously, the romantic relationships that we call in, that we have in our lives. And those can be very deep, very beautiful, can also be very painful if they break up or we go through difficult periods with them. And each of these relationships, even though we have someone externally to us doing and being who they are in their unique expression, we often get wrapped up in worrying about the detail of what other people are doing and how they're behaving, rather than looking at them being perfectly placed in our life to show us what it is about in ourselves. How are we reacting or responding to them? How are we judging them? What expectations are we placing on them? And it's through these mirrors of relating to other people, we get to find out much more about ourselves if we're willing to step back and take a look more honestly at our relationships. Then the third layer of relating is about how we relate to ourselves through our vulnerability, our ability to be open to express ourselves, that also allows others to express themselves more fully, how authentic we are, how congruent we are with our thoughts, words, and actions, our level of self-care, the kind of level of self-love that we give to ourselves and our self-worth, whether we externally validate through things like social media, or do we internally source our sense of self-worth. And so those are the three layers that the book goes through. It's called The Journey to the Center of Your Soul, because the journey through those three layers, once you get to the middle, to the core, you will have a deep understanding of who you are and who you want to be. Now, I've also come up with a very unique online coaching program called Inner Earth. Inner Earth is a 6-week metaphorical adventure through your inner world. It taps into different mythical realms each week, and each one of those realms is also linked to a different archetypal character. And the realm makes a reference to different areas of your life, whereas the archetype is very symbolic of certain energies and character traits that we all have within us, some stronger than others. And over the 6 weeks, we go through a journey through these realms, connecting with these different archetypes, different elements, through guided meditation and using mythos and storytelling. We start to invoke and strengthen our imagination so that we can start creating the life that we want to live, rather than a life that's been named or designed by others. So that's live at the moment. There's also 3 packages that you can go on Inner Earth, but I'll come back to those a bit later. I wanted to go into a little bit more of a story about how it all came about, really. So I'm just going to have to sit. So about a year ago, the concept of Inner Earth came to me, and it came to me at a time where I was wanting to find a way out of the personal training career that I'd had for over 10 years. I felt like the personal trainer suit didn't fit me anymore, and I wanted to move on to something else. I've had a deep love of plant medicine, energy healing work, and a kind of a calling to step further into the more spiritual side of coaching and philosophy. This idea came to me, firstly about Inner Earth about a year ago, and it didn't make sense to me at the time. I couldn't really work out how I was going to turn this concept out of something that was in my head to something that was going to be powerful, applicable, and practical as a journey to take other people on. So I just put that to the side, and I decided just to get on with life. I was going through a really difficult period in a relationship at the time. Over the last summer, we ended up breaking up, and it was a very, very painful period for me. And it was during that breakup was when the concept for the book came through to me. Last September, I listened to a couple of really good podcasts that a friend had sent me. And it was after listening to those podcasts that all of the ideas that had been swimming around in my head for quite a long time landed for me, and everything suddenly made sense. And this one night, I literally wrote down all of the sections, all of the subheadings for the book on an A4 sheet of paper. And I turned around to my housemate at the time and just said, I'm going to start writing my new book tomorrow. And that's exactly what I did. So from then on, every morning I would set myself a non-negotiable task of half an hour of writing every day. So at the start of every day, I would make myself coffee. First thing in the morning, I would open my laptop, and the first thing I did after my meditation and cold shower was to sit down and write for half an hour. Because from my past experience, when you've got a book to write, if you focus on 20, 30, 40, 50,000 words, it can be super overwhelming. So it's really important just to break it down into a manageable process. And sometimes you find you write for half an hour, sometimes 300 words come out, and on other days, 1,000 words comes out. But as long as you show up every day, you're kind of chipping away at your end target, your end goal. And I did that from September last year, and I finished writing the book 9 weeks later in November. As you can see, it's only a small book. It's about 22,000 words. Like I said, the audio book's going to be about 3 hours long, so you know it's not a huge book, but still, it just goes to show you what you can achieve in a short space of time if you apply yourself just for a small amount of time every day. So that was the journey of bringing the book out. Then at the start of the year, obviously the manuscript had been finished. I was using a company to do the editing and the design work for it, the typesetting, the cover design. And then I realised at the start of the year that the concepts found in the book was the missing glue for my Inner Earth program that I'd started working on previously last year. And it was the concepts of getting people to look at how they relate to their environment, to other people, and ultimately themselves. That was the main core concept that I was going to employ as people go through the Inner Earth program. And I just decided that now was the time to make the leap. And so I went full on into creating the content for the Inner Earth program. It's all online now on a Thinkific teaching platform. There's 3 different packages. There's a one-to-one version called The Companion, where you go on a personally guided journey with myself, with live calls with me every week. There's a version called The Fellowship, which starts on September the 12th, which is my group container for the program, with a maximum of 10 people. We will go through as a group each week, call and go through the content together. And then there's the cheaper version, the off-the-shelf version called The Traveller, for those that just want to go along at their own pace and have access to all the pre-recorded content. So I got that up online, and then the book's come out now, and I'm promoting the book. Like I said, the audible version is coming out in September. I'm very excited about that, and I'm really excited to have already started taking on a few clients on my Inner Earth program. I'm getting some amazing results, and it really appeared to me that something quite special has been sort of channeled through me over the last year. Certainly the concept of the book, the way it came through me was, and then the concept of Inner Earth that came to me. It turns out is also a name for Shambhala, Agatha, or Shangri-La, which are mythical concepts surrounding Inner Earth, as it turns out, about a mythical dimension that exists on our planet, or in our planet, some believe, that can only be reached by raising your consciousness to a certain level. And I believe this program that I've created is there to help people raise their consciousness, to switch them on so that they can understand themselves much better. Because how can we make a change in the world unless we know ourselves uniquely and deeply? So that's my book, that's my program. Like I said, the book is available on Amazon, on Kindle or paperback, or you can subscribe through my website and get the PDF version for free. If you've got any questions about any of this, please just leave a comment under this video. I'm planning to do more of these live videos, so hopefully in the future I'm going to get a few more of you to come along and watch them. I'm going to start sharing what I'm all about, the teaching concepts in the book, my programs, and I would love also to make some videos based on what you guys out there are interested in learning about in terms of philosophy, spirituality, and life itself. So that's it for me now. Remember, I'm Adam Stansbury. My website is www.adamstansbury.com. Please like, subscribe, and share my channel, this video, and I very much look forward to seeing you on the next one. Peace out.